Hi, welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Apologies for the lack of videos later, I am hopefully putting that right at the moment. I'm doing a review on the Nikon 85 1.8 lens. Now this is a very old lens. There's been the 1.8, the 1.8D, then the 1.8G, all since this one. Now the reason I chose this one was because it's pretty much the cheapest of the sort of lenses that will fit a modern digital SLR. The 85mm is because I wanted a portrait lens, and I often get asked what's the best portrait lens, and I've seen people say the 35 1.8 is a great portrait lens because of the bokeh, and the 50mm the same, but they're just not. And the reason, and the only way I can explain it, is if you took a picture of two cones in a line, so one here, the distance between them is what I call the compression. So with the 35mm, the distance between it is going to appear on picture, because obviously it's a flat picture, not 3D, so on the picture the distance between it is going to appear to be quite far away. On an 18mm lens it's going to be even further away. Now on a 85 or a 200 or a 105 or a 135 lens, that comes closer together. Now if you imagine that as two things far apart, then it's moving them either further apart or closer together. If you imagine someone's head and the distance between their nose and the back of their head, or their nose and their ears, if you use a 35mm lens it's going to get bigger, and if you use a 200mm lens it's going to compress it, and what that does is it flatters. When you take a portrait lens with a portrait photo with a 35mm lens, it can make the features look a bit extended, it can make the head look bulbous, or if there's an arm in the shot it can make it look like it's too far in front, and it just doesn't work. So an 85mm on a crop sensor camera works really well. Now generally for portraits I use my 70 to 200 2.8, but there are occasions, and it's generally low light situations when I don't want to use a flash, that I will pop on the 85 1.8. It's great in low light. It's got, if I just flip it off there and show you, if I took the cap off, there you go. I mean, look at that. The amount of light that you can get in there is just fantastic. It's beautiful. Okay. Now I know you can get the 1.4 and all that, and Canon do a 1.2 and yada yada yada. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm talking about lenses for not more than around the £100 mark or so. You can pay different amounts for these, but it's an affordable lens for most people if they're looking for something specific, like a prime portrait lens. So yeah, you could go and buy the brand new one, which I think will probably be better, but it's well made. It's got the old aperture ring, so you could use it on an old film body if you like. I have got a film body that I can use it on. The autofocus is pretty quick, it's nice and snappy. Doesn't focus particularly close, but then it's an 85mm portrait lens, I'm not expecting it to. Yeah, autofocus really nice, quick, seems to be accurate. And there's not really a lot else to say. There's no VR, there's no electronics in it. You have to put it on a body that will have a autofocus drive motor in it, so there's no good sticking it on a D3100 or one of those. You need, or even a D5100. You need a body like the D7000, a D600, a D3, D4, D300, D300S, D90, they all drive manual focus, like the lenses, without the autofocus motor built in, that's what I'm trying to say. So there you have it. I'm going to put up some pictures that I've taken of my dog. Now I wouldn't normally use a 1.8 aperture on a dog, and the reason for that is that the depth of field is not enough to get the nose in focus. That's just a tip when you're taking pictures of animals, especially with long noses. If you focus on the eye, you might find the nose will go out of focus. So generally, as a rule of thumb, a headshot on a dog or an animal, you're looking for probably f4, f5.6 to get the whole head in focus. Just a quick tip there. So I've took some pictures of my dog Keo. and I've done them at f1.8 and f4, and I'll just show you. The whole point of these lenses is generally about the bokeh and being able to absolutely destroy the background. So when you're taking a portrait, if you just want to blur out the background completely, or any, it doesn't have to be a portrait, if you just want to completely destroy the background so it's completely blurred out and get that lovely bokeh, the 1.8 is the way to do it, and for not a lot of money. Now this is, as I said, the non-D version. Now the D version does something with the flash, telling it the distance. I don't know, and I don't begin to know how that works. I'm not really interested. I've used this with the flash and it seems to work absolutely fine. I haven't had a duff shot with the flash, unless it's me. I'm not particularly good on flash, but no issues. I've read reviews where people say the lens cap, once you've got the lens hood on, doesn't fit because it's a screw-in lens hood. Well, there's the lens cap. It actually fits inside the hood, so I don't know. Yes, you can't get it to fit on the front of the lens, but it does fit. I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I've seen people put the lens cap on the front here, but that I find that by doing that, you still get a bit of dust on the lens, but it just fits in there fine. And to be honest, I leave the lens hood on this permanently. I've never take it off. It's just, it goes on in the bag, and I just never take it off because it does protect obviously the front of the lens. So there you have it, my initial review on the Nikon 85 1.8, the old beastie if you like, but you can pick them up fairly cheaply on eBay second hand, and it's a good lens for the money. Anyway, this has been GRVO TV, G's Reviews with His Opinions. See you soon. Bye.